Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone talks on the TARDIS Zone. So, the Simps at Screenrant say that it would be unfair for the BBC or whoever's going to make the announcement of Jodie's successor because it would be unfair. Well, what I've got to say about that is, well, it was unfair that we had to tolerate 5 years of complete failure and 5 years of crap writing and 5 years of bad acting. So I don't care what is and isn't fair. Life isn't fair. But Screenrant, of course, the simps, the shills, have defended this era and have also attacked fans who haven't liked this era. So I decided I'd do a stream on this because I find it quite funny, to be quite honest with you, that they're saying that it would be unfair. I mean, it's unfair that we had to put up with this rubbish. We expect top quality entertainment, especially when we're watching Doctor Who, but yous are moaning and crying because Jodie Whittaker's successor is going to be revealed soon. So now you think it's unfair. You didn't say that at the time when Christopher Eccleston was replaced with David Tennant. You didn't say that when David Tennant was replaced by Matt Smith. You weren't going around and saying, "Oh, it's unfair to reveal who the next Doctor is because the current Doctor is still blah, blah, blah." Sims. Anyway, I'm not going to read this whole article because, Screenrant do make me sick. But if you want to read the article, it's in the link description. Of course, I'm just doing this to rip the piss out of Screenrant because, as I said, they're journalists, and most journalists, in my opinion, have lost credibility over these last 5 years, and to come out with such nonsense and drivel is unbelievable. But I expect nothing more from Screenrant and the likes of Digital Spy and all of these other shill media outlets. Imagine saying it's unfair to say who Jodie Whittaker's replacement is because it'd be disrespectful to her. Everything seems to be disrespectful because the Doctor happens to be female. Right? Never a problem or an issue before, but because she's the first female Doctor, apparently it's disrespectful. Anyway, let's get into this simp article, written probably by a simp. Anyway, Doctor Who revealing the new Doctor now would be unfair to Jodie Whittaker. An early announcement of Jodie Whittaker's replacement in Doctor Who would be unfair to both her and the next actor to step into the TARDIS. No, it wouldn't be unfair to the next actor stepping in. I don't think these idiots at Screenrant actually realise that fans are more excited about who's going to be replacing Whittaker than the centenary. This article is by Elaine, I think. She spells her name slightly different. Elaine Kubier, and it was published 8 hours ago. So let's see what else they have to say. If Doctor Who was to reveal the new Doctor now, it would be unfair to the current incumbent Jodie Whittaker. Whittaker's final episodes of the Doctor will premiere in the fall in 2022, with an announcement regarding the new Doctor expected to appear in the interim months. Yet, Doctor Who should wait to reveal the new Doctor until Whittaker's final episode airs, letting the infamous regeneration sequence speak for itself and reveal the newest iteration of the Doctor right there and then. Right. In previous years, I probably would have agreed with that. But I don't think that this journalist, along with most of the media, understand that a lot of the fans and the public have checked out on this era. And for me personally, a new Doctor announcement is exactly what is needed right now. Because what this journalist doesn't realise is that RTD is going to have the biggest uphill struggle of any showrunner out there because he has to win over the general audience. Forget about fans right now for a minute, right? 10 million people have walked away from this show. So he has to try his darnest to bring the casual viewer back in. So I don't think this journalist actually realises the severity of the situation. A new Doctor announcement right now would be the best thing for the show. English-born actress Jodie Whittaker has played the Doctor for 3 seasons now, including several holiday specials. In a status quo-defining move, Whittaker became the first ever female Doctor and made the role wholly her own, despite initial criticism surrounding her performance. She's been criticised for the past 5 years for her performance. Again, this journalist is blind about how this era and this Doctor has been received. And a lot of these journalists, as I said, have lost all credibility when it comes to talking about this era. So, you know, I mean, again, I think an announcement is exactly what we need right now. Exactly what we need right now. After Whittaker's final episode, longtime showrunner Chris Chibnall will be leaving the production to make way for Doctor Who. Russell T Davies signaling a wholesale change within the Doctor Who camp. He's already left production. Basically, what's happened is he's just waiting for the next episode to drop. These people are clueless. To be quite honest, they're clueless. But let's continue. As a result, Doctor Who is getting a total production shake-up, which means there is all the more reason to delay the announcement of a new Doctor until Whittaker's last episode airs. Why? It's at the end of the day, right? I don't think you realise, and I'll keep saying it. 2 million people tuned in for the last episode, 2.2 in overnights, which means less than 2 million people tuned in for her second last episode. This is the right time to actually make that announcement. Now, TV Zone, who happens to be very slow when reporting things in the fandom, have actually said that they're speculating, of course. They said that May 14th seems to be the time when an announcement on Whittaker's replacement will be made. But of course, we and many others out there in the world of YouTube have already speculated about this for ages. We were even talking about it last night, you remember, and a couple of nights before. So it's absolutely a joke. It needs to happen now. Yet, while it's fun to theorise and analyse the rumours, the extra attention given to Whittaker's replacement will overshadow the opportunity to celebrate her history. So that's what it's about. That's what this article is about. Listen, Miss Journalist. Nobody gives a flying crap about Whittaker's Doctor. Nobody gives a crap because the bad acting, the bad writing, and the bad direction. You see, you do not understand. You do not understand, because if you understood, you would be calling, like everybody else, calling for this announcement to happen. So that's what they're afraid of, that the new Doctor announcement will overshadow Whittaker's final episode. But Whittaker's final episode is not going to be anything special because, you know, it doesn't matter who you bring in. I mean, you can have all the classic companions. You can have all the classic Doctors. It's not going to save this abomination. Fans have checked out. Many times you need to be told, right? But this, in this way, announcing the new Doctor would supersede a retrospective of Jodie Whittaker's accomplishments. She hasn't accomplished that. The only thing that she's actually accomplished is dividing the fandom, attacking fans, mocking them, and has actually run the show into the ground. So she has accomplished stuff, but not the stuff that you actually think she's accomplished. And it would quash the building anticipation for the 13th Doctor's final episode in favour of a new actor. As I said, nobody gives a crap about the centenary. Yeah, as I said, you can have all the classic companions, you can have all the classic villains, you can have all the classic Doctors. People have checked out, and the evidence is the ratings. They support it. Less than 2 million people tuned in for Legend of the Sea Devils, and in the overnights then they got 2.2 million or 2.3 million, right? Everybody has checked out. So the announcement of the new Doctor is actually perfect and should happen. While it would be admittedly radical move not to announce the new Doctor before Whittaker's final episode airs, exactly, see, you're even saying it yourself, it's happened before, but because it's Jodie Whittaker and she's a woman, somehow it's disrespectful. These journalists, I told you, and even when it comes to the RTD era, yeah, I wouldn't be listening to these journalists either, right, because they're flip-flops, they're simps. When Whittaker casting was officially announced in 2017, a few months before Peter Capaldi's final turn in Doctor Who, speculation and criticism ran rampant before she'd even had. So that's what. Now I get it. Now I get it. So because the announced Whittaker was replacing Peter Capaldi and she got criticised, this is what this is all about. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't even disguise your bias now. None of you can, right? Bottom line is nobody gives two flying craps about Whittaker's last episode. Get that through you are thick skulls, right? She's finished. We don't care. We want RTD2 now. If we had a chance, we want it right now. Nobody wants this centenary. Nobody wants it. This is unfortunate, but yet predictable turn of events and would likely happen again this time around. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't unless it's another woman. And the reason why I say that is because this female doctor failed, of course there would be a backlash. But you think there'd be a backlash if there's a man? Yeah, from the JD bots or Jodie bots, but nobody gives a crap about them. Sure, they've lost all influence and power in the fandom, so nobody cares if they throw their toys out of the pram. They'll be ignored. That's why I say to people, stop being petty and putting up posters designed to annoy these people. Just let them wallow in the void. Just let them shout into the void. Nobody's listening to them, right? Nobody has to listen to them, right? They chose to listen to us, right? But we don't have to listen to them. So I don't care if Jodie Whittaker fans or Tasman fans have a problem with a male doctor, right? Start screaming. Nobody's going to listen to them. Nobody gives a crap. So in this way, waiting to announce the new Doctor until they perform in the show's context will give the new actor the chance to showcase their talents and give Whittaker the send-off she deserves, a Doctor Who. She doesn't deserve any send-off, decent send-off. She's destroyed this show along with her friend, right? They've scraped the barrel with this era, so much so that the ratings have completely collapsed. Merchandise sales are down. Doctor Who magazine has been struggling for the last year and a half. Okay, there was even a post put up by people that were running Doctor Who magazine on Twitter that said that people would have to start buying the magazine because there was a danger that the magazine could fold, right? Didn't fold under RTD or Stephen Moffat. That's funny, isn't it? But it did under this era. The audience, listen, forget about what fans think. Right? Forget about what fans think. The general audience have told BBC and have told Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker that they do not see this as Doctor Who. And it ain't Doctor Who, no matter what people say out there. It's Doctor Who in name only. But the character has been completely destroyed by Jodie Whittaker, and Chris Chibnall has completely destroyed canon. So they think that it would bring more anticipation for Whittaker's final episode, not knowing who the new Doctor is before the final episode. Well, you see, there's a flaw in your logic there, right? The centenary ends, right? And then we're getting the 60th anniversary, but David Tennant's coming back for that. So why would they reveal who the 14th Doctor is at the end of Jodie Whittaker's regeneration? That was something I've been actually thinking about. And more than likely, she's probably going to regenerate into David Tennant's Doctor. That's why we got to see her in that spacesuit. And who was in that spacesuit first? David Tennant's Doctor. So I don't see your logic, but again, this is projection by this journalist, and they're setting up a narrative that there's going to be basically there's going to be a bad reaction to who's cast as the Doctor. As I said, I don't care about the Jodie Whittaker fans or the Tasman stands that have a problem if a bloke is cast, what you will see is that their voices will be drowned out pretty quick when some fans return to this fandom, because that's all they're waiting on. Some fans are just waiting on the announcement to see if it's a male doctor, and some fans have already said that they'll give it a chance. Now, others will wait and see if the timeless children nonsense is retconned, but most people are waiting to see if it's a male doctor, and they're going to return into the fandom. Sure, I've already seen it on Twitter. Some accounts that left during this era are now returning back to Doctor Who, and are returning back onto Twitter because they feel now that they could come out and voice their opinions without being attacked. And this is a good sign. Fans are returning. So let's just see what happens. And we got Peter Davison with a with a $20 Australian super chat. And he says, bring back Peter Davison. Thanks for the super chat, pal. Also, Mandip Gill was on the One Show, and you've got idiot accounts out there that are speculating, oh, she mightn't be leaving. She did an interview there, and the way she worded it, she's not leaving, she's got to stay. RTD is not going to cast her as a companion. Okay, it's not going to happen. So get that out of our heads, right? What needs to happen here is quite simple, right? Everything that's connected with this era needs to be purged, yeah? And that means not having her return for RTD2. No, it's not going to happen. She's gone. So stop trying to say that there's a possibility that she's going to stay. She's gone. Whether you like her or not, Yasmin Khan's character is gone. Jodie Whittaker's doctor is gone, right? The rest of our companions are gone. So get it out of our heads. She's not returning for RTD2, right? And why would you want her? She's a plank, right? She's one of the worst characters, the worst developed characters that I've ever seen in the history of the show. And she's not the only one. Poor Tolson Cole got a raw deal as well, right? Every character that Chris Chibnall has introduced into this show has been badly done. Now, this announcement, more than likely, is probably going to happen on the 14th of May. We have discussed this on this channel, and people have asked me, when do I think it is? The 14th of May looks like it could be the month. This month could be the month where we get the new announcement of the Doctor. And I've got a funny feeling it is going to happen now. They've all been gone since last October. Exactly, Philip. That's what I mean. They're gone. They're gone. But there's still people out there on the other side of the fandom that think by some miracle that RTD is going to cast her as his companion for the new Doctor. That ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. She's gone. She's gone. And anyway, they're idiots, because Mandip Gill has new projects coming up that she's openly spoke about. She's not coming back to Doctor Who. So I just, these fans baffle me. But look, it's Screenrant, Digital Spy, you know, they have reported on it as well. Is there a possibility that Yaz could stay on? This happened very early when Whittaker announced she was stepping down, and the speculation was, well, they haven't said that Mandip is gone, so she should be staying. So she has to be staying. She's not staying. She's gone. She's gone. RTD wouldn't be that stupid, right? She's a poorly developed character that has been in the show for 5 years, and we still don't know that much about her because she's that poorly developed. Apparently she was bullied. Apparently she's a cop and all of this rubbish, right? But it wasn't properly developed, right? You had Tolson Cole's character and Ryan Sinclair, who was supposed to have a disability, yeah? And that wasn't portrayed properly on screen either. This is what Chris Chibnall does. None of these characters have been built up properly over the time that they've been on screen, which makes them unbelievable, right? I do not believe for 1 second if I was watching Doctor Who as a stranger and someone says to me, well, she's supposed to be a police officer, I say, well, how is she a police officer? I don't. Where's the evidence to prove she's a police officer? Oh, I forget. We saw her in a police officer's uniform in the very first episode. Oh, I'm very sorry about that. But you're supposed to develop that further, right? Like they did with Gwen Cooper in Torchwood. She was a police officer, right? Torchwood were doing a different job before she came along, and then they brought her into the team, and then the Torchwood team changed. They became more of an investigating and trying to solve these cases, whereas before they were trying to get the aliens off the street, and that was it. They didn't care about justice. They didn't care about any of that. But when she came in, that all changed, right? So why didn't Chibs write Mandip Gill that way, right? When he was part of Torchwood, by the way, why didn't he write it that way? Why wasn't she built up that way? Because he hadn't got a clue what he was doing. Yeah, Dan started off as a good character, Philip, but again, just like Graham O'Brien, they were just there to be whatever at this stage, a joke. We also saw Karen Gillan in a police woman's uniform in her first step. She did more police work than Yaz, and she wasn't even a police woman. Exactly. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. The announcement better hurry up. It's getting up, getting restless. Night have to go, says Daniel. Good night, Daniel. Good night, Ledge. Great video today on wrestling. If you are fans of wrestling, WWE, and I think all of that other wrestling companies out there, but especially WWE, Daniel did a stream today. It wasn't even planned. He just decided that he wanted to do a stream, and he was talking about his passion for wrestling. So if you're a wrestling fan, go and check out his stream. I was watching during the Liverpool game. Very interesting chat he had. Very good stream. It's nice to see him do different things as well, and do streams on his own as well. Mix it up a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah. So I mean, all of this nonsense that Mandip is coming back, rubbish. All of this nonsense that Whittaker's replacement should be announced, even though that's the way it's being done, is nonsense. See, there seems to be an old trend here, right? Ever since Jodie was cast, you can't do the same things that you did when the Doctor was a bloke. We've got to change it up because somehow it's disrespectful. Right? So, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The announcement has to be made ASAP, in my opinion, because fans are getting restless now. And they need that announcement. They need that announcement right now because they need to be given hope that this show can actually improve and bring joy back to the fans in this fandom. So the announcement can't come quick enough. But TV Zone is now reporting, they're speculating, they're saying that they think the announcement might be on the 14th of May. But of course, we fans here and other YouTubers out there, including myself, have been speculating about this for weeks. So TV Zone is actually a bit slow there on the uptake. You should actually, feel the pulse of the fandom. So yeah, I just find it all ridiculous that we have to change the rules because Whittaker's the Doctor now. and that somehow announcing her replacement is going to be disrespectful, but every other time her predecessors were leaving and their replacements were being announced, it wasn't disrespectful to them, but it's disrespectful to Jodie Whittaker. And it's only disrespectful because she's a woman. And we have to point that out, right? This is the only reason why they're saying it is because she's a woman, right? They're not saying it for any other reason whatsoever. Yeah, they're trying to make out that there might be some sort of backlash. That's just the journalist covering for herself, right? We've seen her agenda in that article, right? It's clear that there's a bias there, right? So the announcement has to be made ASAP, in my opinion. Martin V is in the chat. We've got Chuckzilla in the chat. We've got Chris in the chat. We've got Peter Davison, who gave us that wonderful super chat. CD is in the chat as well. We've got Carol in the chat as well. We've got Kev in the chat. Philip is also in the chat. And we had Daniel, the legend, who's gone to bed. We've got JFO in the chat as well. And we've got Jamie in the chat also. Nice to see you all there now. We got Gary B in the chat as well. Welcome, Gary. And who else have we got? If I've missed anyone, the Wolf and the Storm. Wolf and the Storm is also in the chat. Let's see. I think that's everybody. If I've missed anybody, just leave me a comment right now and I'll read it. Wolf and the Storm has a new video as well. If you want to go and check that out as well. Please do. For some weird reason, YouTube, I thought I was subscribed to you, and I'm pretty sure I was, but I had to resubscribe. So YouTube acting up there. I'm pretty sure I subscribed to you. If I didn't, I apologize, but I have now. But I'm pretty sure I did. We got Ezra in the chat as well. Welcome. Nice to see you. I hope I'm saying your name right, Ezra Goldstein. Well, I'm pretty sure I am, but if I'm not, I do apologize. What's the latest odds on the new Doctor being cast? Anybody? I don't really take any notice of the bookies because the bookies, are unreliable. I mean, they stopped taking bets on Michael Shane last year because he was odds-on favourite. And now they've stopped taking bets apparently on Lydia West because now she's odds-on favourite. The bookies are unreliable. These are people that are going in, they're making bets on who they think might be the Doctor. This is nothing. The bookies don't actually have information on who is the Doctor. This is people that will go into their bookie shops and they will put a bet on who they think the next Doctor is. So there's obviously a lot of people that went in and put money on Lydia West and have put money on Michael Shane. So, I wouldn't pay attention to the bookies, to be quite honest with you. Cobra Kai is really good, a little cringe at times, but I just watched all the seasons. Are you up to date? I am. I don't find it cringe. I mean, it's you got to understand, I grew up with that franchise, so I was a kid when that franchise was out in the first movie, and even the movies were a little bit cringy like that. That's what I like about this show, Cobra Kai. It has maintained the same formula as the movies have, and has maintained the same kind of atmosphere and stuff like that. That's why I love Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai to me right now is probably the best show on TV. Now I am watching Superman and Lois at the moment, and I have to say I'm only 5 episodes into the 4th season, but this is fast becoming a favourite show of mine right now. Superman and Lois. I love your guy that's playing Superman. Lois is brilliant as well. I love their kids. It's an absolutely, now listen, I know CW people say, well, CW go off the deep end, but I think they'll actually do this show right. and I'm loving it so far. So if you haven't checked out Superman and Lois, check that out. And another show, if you're into kind of Stephen King, John Carpenter kind of shows with a bit of mystery, there's a show called From, and it's on the MGM application, but you can get it if you know what I mean. Go and check out From if you're into stuff like that. You will really enjoy that show. That's another magnificent show. I actually told Lee about it, and Lee has become hooked to it. I also got my wife into it as well, and she's hooked. We can't wait to see. Well, we hope there's a season 2, because most of these shows now, unfortunately, see, this is the thing about streaming services as well. It's like the Orville that's coming out. The Orville will get another season based on how many people actually watch. So I'll be encouraging everybody to watch the Orville, because I love the Orville. Superman and Lois season 2 is just as good. No, don't worry. Standard hasn't dropped. Oh, I'm bleeding glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that, because I'm being honest. I'm loving it. Lads, listen, lads and ladies, look, I love Superman, right? I think, look, Christopher Reeves was my Superman, but I love what Henry has done to it, and I do believe that he should be given another movie, because he understands the role. If you hear his interviews, this is a guy that really enjoys playing Superman. That's who I want in the role. Someone that has embraced it, and he wants it. So when I know Superman and Lois is out ages, and I remember when it first popped out, I watched the first episode, and I was pretty impressed then, but I got distracted, I did, and I started watching other stuff, and I never came back to it. So last week, I said, feck it, it's there, it keeps popping up. I said, you know what, I'll watch it, right? I'll watch the first episode, I'll watch the second episode, and I'll leave it there. I'll watch the second, third, the fourth, and the fifth fucking episode, and I was like, oh Jesus, I have to go to sleep now. So I knocked it off. So I watched the first 5 episodes, and I was very impressed. I watched the first episode of Moon Knight, but haven't finished it. But I will. I don't listen to people on Twitter anymore, or reviewers anymore. I mean, everybody's complaining about stuff nowadays. So I just kind of ignore the critics. As I've said to you guys, look, at the end of the day, right, if you're going to let a critic decide whether you watch a movie or not, I think that's the wrong way about going about things. I think you should check the movie out yourself, or TV shows out yourself, because let's be honest, journalists over the last few years and critics have lost all credibility. So why would you be listening to them? I have noticed there seems to be a pattern now that people will listen to certain journalists because they've hated everything in the MCU, so automatically they're telling the truth. No, that's not the case. Go and watch these things for yourself, and then if they're bad, they're bad. Then the journalist was right. But go and watch it for yourself. Nobody should ever tell you not to watch. And I used to do that with Doctor Who, to be quite honest with you, and I shouldn't have, right? Nobody should tell anybody what they should and shouldn't watch, right? Go and watch these things for yourselves, because it's the only way you're going to know if they're good or bad, truly yourself, right? Because remember, we all have different tastes. So while some journalists out there mightn't like the multiverse of madness, I've seen journalists that have said, yeah, don't hype it up. If you're going in with certain expectations, don't go in with those expectations, but it's a good movie. So you don't know who to believe. So the only way you'll know who to believe is if you actually go and watch the goddamn thing yourself. I mean, everybody was slating Sonic the Hedgehog, the first movie when it came out, right? I remember. Then you had these idiots coming out and saying, I brought me husband and my son to see Harley Quinn Birds of Prey instead because Sonic the Hedgehog is toxic. The funny thing is that Birds of Prey wasn't even out yet. It wasn't out for a couple of days when these people were making all these claims and accusations. Sonic the Hedgehog turned out to be a great movie, and the second one is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen that movie franchise yet, if you're a gamer and you love the Sonic the Hedgehog lore, go and watch these movies. Martin V with a £5 super chat says, cheers for all the great content you've been putting out, Noel. Hope you are well and keep up the great work. I'm doing well, mate. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the super chat, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys can see that I have actually stepped it up in the last. I've always been worked hard on this channel, and I think everybody knows that. But I have stepped it up over the last couple of weeks because, you know, there has been a lot of stuff that needs to be said, and there's been a lot of stupid articles as well, and stupid stuff being said by the fandom that needed to be addressed. I mean, the James Corden rumors have to be the funniest thing that I've ever heard, and the fact that people actually believe that James Corden is Dr. 14 is absolutely bonkers to me. Seriously, I don't know what's happened with this Doctor Who fandom, but we used to be quite an intelligent bunch. I think it's the fact that we've been swamped with so many stupid fans. That's being nice, by the way. Yeah, well, if you're to listen, the Wolf in the Storm says, you're missing out, my friend. Moon Knight is amazing. Oscar Isaac is phenomenal. He deserves all the awards. Yeah, well, if you're to listen to some Twitter accounts out there, it's the worst thing since sliced bread. But again, for me, I don't listen to anybody anymore, Wolfenstorm. I go and check these out for myself, because the mistake I was making was listening to these reviews and listening to these people talking, and I was forgetting that we all do have different tastes. You know, for example, a lot of them like the Suicide Squad movie, right? The latest one. I didn't. I actually thought it was, I think it's a joke of a movie. I just want to be clear here. And I got criticised for coming out and saying that I didn't like this movie. I prefer the other Suicide Squad movie. Even though everybody complains about that, I thought that was a better movie. And that's just my opinion. I didn't like the new one. And that starfish motherfucking looking thing was just ridiculous, in my opinion. You know, and then doing the face hugger thing. I don't know if it did that in the comics, but that face hugger thing was just a step too far for me. And the fact that they had the amazing Peter Capaldi in it and they wasted him, in my opinion. And that's what I complained about. Even my wife, who's a huge fan of that franchise, she didn't even like the movie. We were sitting down watching that movie together, and we just kept looking at each other and saying, are we really watching this? That's how bad we thought that movie was. Right? It's the same with the Batman, right? You've got everybody out there, oh, it's the greatest Batman movie ever made. I'm sorry, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's a good Batman movie. It's probably a half an hour too long. Robert Pattinson wasn't bad as Batman. I'm not going to slate him. He actually was a good Batman. But it's not better than the Dark Knight trilogy, in my opinion. And it's not better than Batman and Batman Returns. So I don't know why people are thinking this is the greatest movie of all time, because it's not. It's not. Just my opinion, though. We all have different tastes. And if you do think it is, that's fine, fair enough. But I'm saying in the Batman community what's been happening in the Doctor Who community. Anybody that comes out with that opinion that I've just given you has been criticised and piled on. You know, that's where we are now. You have to watch, you know, I just don't know, man, anymore. But I will be checking out the rest of Moon Knight. I'm just waiting for the whole, I know the series finale was just recently, so all the episodes are going to be there. So I'll watch all the episodes now together. I'll binge watch it. Even though I think the binge watch model is dead, I still like to do that personally. So I wait for I haven't even watched the last series of Derry Girls yet either, because I'm waiting on all those episodes to build up so I can binge watch that as well. I think Henry will be the next James Bond. Well, here's the thing. If Henry becomes the next James Bond, Superman is dead. Right? So I don't want him to be the next James Bond. I want him to play Superman. He is Superman. Right? Christopher Reeves was my Superman, but Henry is also my Superman. I want to see him as Superman. I want to see him in that cape again. Right? So if he gets James Bond, he's not playing Superman. He's not. He just can't do it. You have to commit to the James Bond franchise. You always notice that the actors that play James Bond don't do many other movies. They don't do many other movies because James Bond takes up most of their time. So if he gets that role as James Bond, he's not playing Superman again. Now, let's see. Did anyone see Strange New Worlds? No, I'm not watching that and got to do a Kurtzman Trek. Kurtzman Trek is a disgrace. I'm not watching Arton belong to that man. He doesn't understand Doctor Who. Oh, he doesn't understand Star Trek. Just like Chris Chibnall didn't understand Doctor Who. And he's supposed to be a fan. They only make one James Bond film every 4 years. Yeah, but if you look at Daniel Craig's run as James Bond, how many movies did he do outside James Bond? Not many, right? And he wouldn't be able to commit to Superman and James Bond because they're both huge roles. So if he takes on James Bond, then Superman, I know some of you are already saying that Superman is dead. I believe there's still a chance because he wants to still continue to play. And I think it'll be the biggest crime if Warner Brothers don't get their act together. He has to play James Bond. And J.J. Abrams better not get anywhere near Superman, right? Because if you watch there's a history about Superman and all these movies that were gonna happen. And J.J. Abrams had a script for a Superman movie which just sounded absolutely ridiculous, and he was going to change everything what made Superman Superman, right? And now he's there now, and that's my worry. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is stopping the Henry Cavill Superman from happening again, right? JJ is going to do exactly what he did to the... Look, I like the 4 Star Trek movie. I'm not going to lie. His 4 Star Trek movie I thought was decent, right? But the others kind of let me down. Into the Darkness was a joke. I have to be honest. I didn't like that one. And I didn't like the other one either, right? But I did like the 4th one. But here's the thing. He's going to do what he did to Star Trek, Star Wars, and now he's going to do the same with Warner Bros. He's just going to destroy all the franchises. I don't know how this man is still getting work, to be quite honest with you. Craig only did Knives Out. Well, then there you go. So if Henry gets James Bond, then it means to me then that even Henry has conceded that Superman is not going to happen under him. And it's an absolute disgrace. Warner Brothers has a problem with Superman. Right? Warner Brothers has a problem with Superman. They've always had a problem with Superman. Right? If they had... I know for the Quest for Peace, Superman 4, it's a movie that not many people talk about or even know about. I was actually at a quiz one time, and one of the questions was, how many Superman movies did Christopher Reeve star in? And I got the answer right, 4. But everybody else in the quiz teams put 3 up. And the person that was doing the quiz says, yous are all right. And I literally, typical me, I says, you're wrong. I says, you're absolutely wrong. I says, they're all wrong. I'm right. And I'll tell you why I'm right. The Superman 1, the Superman 2, and the Superman 3. But there's also Superman The Quest for Peace. The one about the nuclear weapons. I says, have you forgotten that one? And you were like, there's no 4th Superman. I says, there is a 4th Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. I said there was supposed to be even a 5th movie with him, but of course the script never came to fruition. But Christopher Reeves had seen some of the script and said that this was probably going to be one of the best Superman movies he was going to be in. but it never happened because then obviously when the talks were of a possibility of him coming back, he had his horse accident, and that was the end of that. Right? But there's 4 Superman movies with Christopher Reeves. Everybody just likes to ignore the 4th one because it's so bad. I have a soft spot for the Quest of Peace because it still has Chris in it, so Chris Reeves. So it's a bad movie. It's not but here's the thing. I don't think it's as bad as Superman 3. I thought Superman 3 was an absolute joke. That was the 3D one. That was with Richard Pryor. I thought that was an awful movie. Awful movie. And I think the 4th one is slightly better. I'm sorry, but people can criticize me for that, but I actually think the 4th one is slightly better. Yeah, but I don't know. They've never really respected the Superman IP, in my opinion. Not movie. It's like the executives of Warner Brothers don't know what they want with Superman. See, Batman is easier to promote and easier to do movies on because he is a kind of an anti-hero, isn't he? He's a visual anti-like. So, they can make movies. I mean, we look at all the Batman movies that we have had. We've been oversaturated with Batman movies, in fairness, and we still have the Flash movie to come where Batmans are going to appear. Like they just don't. The disrespect towards Superman is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I agree. That scene did scare me senseless as well, Jamie. I'm not denying that, but it was a shit movie. But then I love Supergirl, so what do I know? What? Hold on, Supergirl the movie? That movie gets criticized, but actually, a woman that played Supergirl was hot. But Supergirl wasn't bad. Supergirl wasn't bad. I mean, it was bad, but it was good bad. Supergirl, and she played a good Supergirl. I have to say, she did play a good Supergirl. So I'm not going to knock her. But but the new Supergirl, and I've seen pictures of the new Supergirl. I mean, I don't know what Hollywood has. I don't know why Hollywood has a problem in putting Supergirl in a dress. They have her dressing like Superman. Nah, you put her in a skirt or you don't do Supergirl at all. Okay? She's in the skirt. If you have a problem with that, then there's something wrong with you. But Supergirl, yeah, it's a camp classic. Exactly. I mean, the story is ridiculous. But she was good as Supergirl. So I'm not going to knock her. Anyway, it's yeah. I mean, it's good to reminisce about things that you grew up with, but yeah, I think Warner Brothers should just sell the Superman IP, or give someone a contract for a couple of years, and then you have a certain amount of time to make a Superman movie, and if you don't get to make that movie, then the IP goes back to Warner Brothers. But they won't do that. They'd rather keep it in the vault rather than someone else do it because they'll be afraid that someone else will do it better than them. And that's the problem that we have right now. They would actually think that's what would happen. I reckon if someone do you know who I'd love to? I would love, right? I would love as my dream team to do a Superman movie. Would be Christopher Nolan. I know he was producer on Man of Steel, but I'd want him to direct and bring in someone else, not Zack Snyder, but maybe bring in someone else then. Maybe I don't know who else could you bring in with Chris Nolan. Maybe I'm dreaming here, but maybe or a joint venture between Chris Nolan and Mr. Jackson, who did Lord of the Rings, and make it a 3-part epic. Build the story up, make it 3 parts, a continuous story over three movies. Peter Jackson to do all the visuals and all of that other stuff, and get Christopher Nolan to direct. I know. I liked Richard Pryor in the movie. I don't think that was the problem. Uh, see, the thing about it, even if you watch the Force movie with Lex Luthor, he is quite funny. You know, it wasn't the comedy that was the problem. The script was absolutely diabolical. Richard Pryor at the time was one of the hottest assets out there at the time, you know. So if they had to use them the right way as well, you know, and give them a better script. I mean, Superman 3 is just that goddamn awful, man. A lot of you are saying that, yeah, Clark was the only good part of the movie. Well, I mean, Christopher Reeves, you can't really knock him, can you? I mean, God love him. You know, he kind of knew the scripts were a bit rubbish, but he loved the character. And he was even willing to come back even after the fourth one had been a complete. And he talks about it openly. I've been watching interviews of him recently, believe it or not, because I've been on a bit of a Superman buzz. And he said he hated making Superman 4. And it was probably the worst. It was probably one of the worst movies that he made. But he was still willing, even after that, when he seen a draft of the script for the fifth one. And of course, it never came to pass. I heard the board have gone pacifist in Picard. I don't watch it. I watched the fourth season, so I've no interest. As I said, Kurtzman Trek does not appeal to me, so I'm not going to be one of those people to complain for the sake of complaining. I just don't watch it. I don't care. I don't care what people have to say about it either, because I don't watch. If it's your cup of tea, it's your cup of tea. If it's not, it's not. I just have no interest. It was the same with Lower Decks. Myself and Lee did a couple of watch-alongs here. We got like, I think 4 or 5 episodes in, and we just gave up. It's not my type of Trek. So, you know, I don't care what they do with Picard, to be quite honest with you. Even though Next Generation was the era that I grew up in, I'll always prefer the original series. And I actually, you know, I do like Next Generation, but I love Voyager as well. And for the first time ever, I've decided, because, you know, at the time I was actually busy being 1995, 1996. Well, I was busy being a teenager, I think, or whatever I was doing, mid-20s, the busy drinking. So I didn't sit down and watch Deep Space Nine, but I've decided that I'm actually going to take the plunge and watch Deep Space Nine. Now, apparently, I know I'm going to have to go through a couple of seasons of absolute rubbish before it picks up. But I'm willing to give it a go. I mean, I watch Voyager, for God's sake, and a lot of people hate Voyager. No, see, this is the thing, JFO. I've made this abundantly clear, right? And this is why I keep telling you, you've not to be believing other people out there, right? Everybody from Roadlock, right? So everybody from Roadlock is gone, right? People that were inside that production team were leaking stuff to people out there to put rumors out. This is a whole entirely different production team. right? Under Bad Wolf Studios. I have made my position very clear, right? When it comes to this RTD2 era, right? Anybody claiming that they have sources are lying through their teeth. I made it very clear that my sources would not be able to give me information on RTD2, right? Now, I've got one person who was very reliable that actually knows people with inside the current production team. But I won't be told that because I've been told they're not going to spoil anything from the RTD era. Okay? Now, I made this absolutely clear when Roadblock was cleared out. I did a video and I told everybody, don't have those sources anymore. Right? I don't have those sources anymore because they've moved on. They've moved on. I've got a couple of sources that have managed to get little snippets here and there because they know people that know people that know people. But that's the thing. I can't say with 100% that these are going to be reliable sources. So that I've put out on the RTD era is because of one person that I have right now that happens to know certain people. Well, how reliable they are, well, we've already found out that they're slightly reliable anyway because they've gotten some stuff that I've talked about on the channel, right? But nobody has sources, right? It takes a while to build up trust, right? So if there's people out there reporting that they have sources with the RTD production team, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. And this is why most people that do the rumors and speculation in this fandom don't like me, because I'm exposing them for the liars that they are, right? They do not have any sources within the RTD era, right? They don't, right? It's a new production team. It's moved to a different studio. So anybody claiming that they know what's going on, right, they're lying through their teeth. They're lying through their teeth. That's why we've been covering all the other stuff. And by the way, all of that stuff on Reddit and Gallifrey Base and all of these 4chan, right? I've been throwing them up myself, but look at the rumours. Hardly any of them have come true. People said stuff about that was going to happen in Legend of the Sea Devils, and they got one thing right, but the rest were all wrong. So they do not have reliable sources. They're not getting sources. These are people that are speculating and putting things together and then packaging it as rumor and speculation. It's not rumor and speculation. They're making up shit and they're throwing it out there. I've made it very clear when this production ended, right, that nobody has sources anymore. I've got one or two that, for a certain reason, which I can't divulge, will be able to get limited information, right? But the stuff that I've been told that I can't talk about, because if I talk about it, basically they'll be exposed. And if they're exposed, then people will know where the leaks are coming from. So I'm saying nothing. And I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody either. Dr. Freedom says one or two the old production team are joining the new team. I guess RTD hires on talent and took the best one or two. Yeah, he has taken one or two. But here's the thing. If those one or two then are the ones, if all of a sudden all information starts coming about RTD's era, right? Well, then they'll be the ones be responsible. Because how many leaks have come out about any other RTD show that he's done under Bad Wolf? Exactly. None. So don't be listening to anybody out there that says that they have sources within inside the production team. They're lying. They're lying. And this is why these people on the other side, right, and that do Doctor Who rumours hate me so much because I'm exposing them for who they are, right? I'll always be honest with you. And I was honest the day that production ended, and I told you the sources that I originally had, it's game over for them now. right? I've got a couple of sources left, right? But I've got them because of my relationship with the past sources. But even then, the information that I'm getting off them is limited. And to be quite honest with you, it's not worth talking about because it's just little bits and pieces here, right? That wouldn't be really, it's not huge in the grand scheme of things, right? But there's already stuff that we've spoken about that has already come through anyway. So, as I said, just you've got to be careful who you're listening to out there, right? I'm not saying listen to me either, right? Because I'll be honest with you about it, right? But anybody out there claiming that they have sources within the RTD production team, as I said, are lying through their teeth, right? And they ought to be ashamed of themselves as well for lying, right? If you don't have any rumors, just tell people out straight you don't have them or you don't have your sources anymore, right? Two people from the other side. And if those two people are in there and then all of a sudden RTD stuff starts leaking, well, then it's those two people that have joined the production team. So then they'll be exposed and then they'll lose their jobs and be kicked out. So nobody has sources right now. Or nobody, sorry, I'll rephrase. Nobody is getting information right now. I would have thought John Martin was the next Doctor or Lydia. But again, why would you think that? Why would you think that Joe Martin's the next Doctor? You are all forgetting. Joe Martin is a Chris Chibnall. Why are my earphones falling out? Joe Martin's a Chris Chibnall invention, not an RTD invention. Joe Martin is not the 14th Doctor. Never will be the 14th Doctor and will never be considered to be the 14th Doctor. Warped Eyebrow 2 with a £2 super chat says, who would be your ideal companion for RTD2? Lydia West. The one that everybody thinks that is going to be the Doctor. Lydia West would make a great companion. Justin Doyle. I think the next Doctor might be an animal, probably Basil Brush, so the BBC can stick its hand up its arse and to control it. Oh, he's that funny. Exactly. Look. As I said, I've got one or two sources right now, right, and I only have them because of my relationship with the previous sources that I had. They put me in touch with people, and those people were put in touch with me just without going into too much detail. And I have heard some stuff that he wants to do for the 60th. Sure, you even heard what I said back at the time, right? And we even had guests on that were in the know as well, right? So we are getting some information, but we're not getting it as much as we used to get it because, as I said, new production team. But remember, this channel was the first channel to tell you, and I can bank on it because a lot of people were watching. We had on a couple of guests. We were the first people on this channel to tell you that David Tennant was returning. Right? I told you David Tennant was returning. I also told you as well, right, that don't be surprised for the centenary. I actually even said this, that if don't be surprised if old companions return and classic Doctors return. We spoke about this last year, maybe even longer than that, right? So we're still getting bits and pieces, but it's not as I'm not waking up every day like I used to, and there'll be a piece of new information that I'd get. It's not like that anymore. I'll get bits here and bits there. So you just have to be patient, right? But we did tell you on this channel that David Tennant was returning. We even had a guest on who confirmed it, if you all remember. And I also told you that don't be surprised for the centenary of classic companions return and classic villains. And I even said classic doctors, even before it was even mentioned by anybody out there. This channel has been spot on about a lot, right? And that's not me being big headed or anything like that. It's because I had good sources and they were reliable, right? So just wait, just wait. If I do find out who the 14th Doctor is, I'm not going to spoil it though. I'm just going to make it clear to you. If I do know who the 14th Doctor is, I'm not going to spoil it. Now, what I will do is, if I find out who it definitely is, right, and if I know who it is, right, I'll let you know whether it's a man or a woman. But that's all you will be getting. I won't be telling you who the Doctor is. I'm not spoiling this one. I'm not actually going to spoil anything of the RTD era. No. I refuse. I want to give it the best chance that it can get. Everyone do a shot each time sources comes up, says Carol. Jude, we'd be all drunk. We'd be all drunk. Well, look, I've always been honest with people on this channel. I've never shied away from the fact. I told people when the new production team came in that the original sources that I had, right, and I even said it, I said the ones that I have now, they have put me in touch with people and they've gotten in contact and all of that. But the sources that I had during this era are gone. And that's the way it works, folks. So anybody out there claiming, this is why when I hear bigger YouTubers out there that were telling fibs about Star Wars and saying they had sources left, right, and center, and then magically other sources would appear to kind of validate what they said. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't do that. I don't do that. Say, oh, look, here's another fella. He backs me up. No, hashtag no was right. I don't do any of that bullshit. So if I get any information, I'll let you know. But I won't be letting you know who the Doctor is because that'd be unfair. Unless it's someone I actually want. Nah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't spoil it. No, with the secret intelligence. But yeah, if you do find out, I'm glad you won't spoil it. No, I'm not spoiling this one. Listen, I'm not going to spoil the casting. No way. No way. Listen, what I might do is I start getting information about what RTD might do for Series 14. Then yes, I will come out and talk about that. But I'm not spoiling who the 14th Doctor is. And there's already been a few names floated about. So the only sources I have are Ketchup and HB. I prefer YR sauce, mate. I prefer YR myself, Frank. Yeah. So there you go. Like, share, and subscribe, says Chuckzilla there. But look, as I said, I'll always be honest with you guys, and I have been. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I still have sources. That when, as I said, the old production team is gone, because that wouldn't be honest, which is right. But as I said, and I told you at the time, that I do have one or two because I was put in touch, right? So we'll just see what happens with them. See, new sources, it's kind of different because you're starting from scratch again. So you have to build up that trust. And the thing about it is that I have received a shitload of stuff. But the thing for me to see if they're reliable is to see what actually comes out and is proven. And then if the stuff that they've given me, if some of it is true, well, then I know they're reliable. And then that's when I'll start reporting. But because RTD hasn't come out and said much, I can't verify whether these sources are going to be reliable or not. Do you get me? And that's where I stand right now. And that's the way it should go, right? That's why when I hear all these other YouTubers saying, "Oh, source reveal, leak, rumor," liars, every single one is, and it's always this. Oh, I know someone who knows RTD's wardrobe assistant, who told me that the doctor is going to be an elephant and his companion's going to be a hedgehog. Right? That's how ridiculous they are. It's always someone who knows 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 someone. Never that way with me. Got it direct from the sources. And that's why I've been right about most things that have happened during this era. And if you have been following me from day one, you know I have. So, but seriously, it's always someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows someone. Oh yeah. The new doctor is an alien from Mars, and the companion is an Earthling who happens to be, non-binary and identifies as a sheep. It's like someone actually joked about it the other day and actually put up a comment on one of my videos, which I thought was very funny. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it, because this was this was a funny comment, but it just sums up all the rubbish that people are talking about in this fandom. But if I can find it, where's this comment? Where is it? I know it's around here somewhere. It was about James Corden, I think. So it'll be under the James Corden video, I think. Is this a? Oh yeah. On all of my journalistic integrity, it is Jessica as the new Doctor. That's when I was coming out. So I mean, you're getting people actually literally taking the piss out of all these people. Look, that's why they hate me, because I'll tell you out straight. I'm honest with you. These people they're only doing it for clicks and views. I refuse to put out, come on here and start making up stuff, because that's what some of these YouTubers are literally doing. What they're doing is they're going on to Gallifrey base, they're going on to 4chan, they're going on to Reddit, right? And what they're doing is they're seeing all of these so-called leaks going up, right, on those platforms. But instead of directly taking them from the sites and throwing them up the way we have, we just throw them up, right? I don't claim that I have inside information and there you go, right? I just throw them up in screenshots in a little video for you, right? To say this is what's going on Reddit, this is what's going on in Gallifrey base, and this is what's going on 4chan, right? But what these people do is they look at the rumors, all the different type of rumors, right? That are the so-called leaks, right? What they do is they gather them all and then they sit down and they read them out to themselves a couple of times, right? And then they start coming up with theories. And then that's what makes the basis of the rumor and leak. And then they go, oh, breaking news! I got a new leak. So this is happening and this is happening and this is happening. But it's based off false information that they're getting on these sites. So they're not even hiding it anymore. There was even a YouTuber that was reporting on these Reddit leaks, and then their friend came out and actually said, "Oh yeah, I made them all up, I did." But your friend was reporting on them. So if you're his friend, he knew that you are faking them, but he was still reporting on them to get clicks. How sad can you be? And you know why they did it? They did it because they said they wanted to discredit people out there that did rumors. and speculation, because I've been called a liar for the last 5 years. I mean, I told you about Chaos in Cardiff, I've been right. I told you that Chris Chibnall wanted to leave before he actually announced he was leaving. It's come out of the horse's mouth itself. I told you that the Jadoon were going to return. They returned. I told you well, everybody knew the Daleks were coming back. They were shoehorned in. He didn't even need any evidence actually to back that up. And also, if people remember, and just to remind people how reliable I am, just in case anybody does question how reliable I am, I'm going to show you something now in a second, actually. Right? I haven't shown this in a long time, but I think I need to show people this, especially the new people that are tuning in to my channel right now. Just in case you think I'm talking bullshit, I'm going to show you something that I reported on before the episode dropped, and this is in relation to Spyfall, right? And BBC had me video taken down, and this is the report that I got, and I saved it. Now, others out there that accused me of lying said that I faked these screenshots because, you know, Noel can't be right because Noel is the enemy. Noel's a liar, you know. This is what you get. Noel's the lawyer. Noel never tells the truth. He's been conning this fandom for years with his. I even had a hit piece done about me, right? Because these people couldn't accept that I was actually telling the truth. But I'm going to show you something now. Hopefully now, right? So if I pop this up, if I can. I don't know if you can see that. It's very small at the moment, but hold on. Let's see if I can open this. There we go. Right, can you, hold on. Why is that main screen just coming up? I've actually shared the feckin' thing. Hold on. What? No, there. Okay. Right, let's see. I need to go into stop share for a minute. Stop share for a minute. Stop. You fucking thing. It's me and technology. Me and technology. There you go, gallery. Right. I hope you can see that on the screen because I can't, because it's blocking me view. So this was my video for episode 1 of Spyfall, and it was taken down. And if you look underneath here, it says embargoed information posted without authorization and revealing trade secrets of the owner. Okay, it's in black and white there. Embargoed information posted without authorization and revealing trade secrets of the owner. Right? And that was where I revealed that the master was going to make an appearance right at the end of the episode, and I'd given away some of the plot, right? And there's still people out there that doubt that I had sources. I actually destroyed them with that, but there you go. So that was that. Hold on, I think there's a better image here that I might be able to show you. Will you open up? No, it's not that one. Not that one. Here it is. This is a clearer one, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So I don't have sources apparently, but here we go. This puts this argument to bed anyway. And I always had, because, like, you know, I don't lie to any of you guys here. So there you go. Exclusive information on Spyfall. Your video has been taken down. A claimant sent a legal notice about their copyrighted content in your video. As a result, your video has been removed from YouTube, right? And there you go again, right? Exclusive, the claimant BBC Studios, right? And they requested the retraction, right? And there it was the 17th of March 2020, right? So there you go. So for all you naysayers out there, I've proven once and for all anyway. And I didn't need to actually prove it because my audience here are not stupid. They know I've been telling the truth and I don't lie to them. But for anybody that's new, that's wondering, there you go. There's our evidence right there, right? I didn't even see you joking about me, Carol. So or whatever you were joking about. So it's all good. It's all good. I didn't see it because obviously I was showing people the screenshots there. So there you go. Be under no illusion that I was getting information about this current era, right? I don't lie to anybody in here. I don't do it for clicks and I don't do it for views because I don't believe in that, right? I could have very easily done what every other YouTuber does out there and just be controversial and make up shit for the sake of it, right? But I've never done that. That's why my channel has never exploded like all of these other channels, right? Because I've stayed true to myself and I've maintained a certain amount of, what's the word I'm trying to use? Not reliability. I just didn't want to do it for the wrong reasons, you know, like these YouTubers do, right? I wouldn't go around and make up stuff just for the sake of the clicks. It's not worth it. I'd rather grow my channel organically. See all of those YouTubers that have thousands of subscribers now, they've built up their channel on lies and deceit. They won't last. I will outlast all of those YouTube channels because I have grown my channel organically. And thanks to the support here and the people here, right, they know I haven't been lying to them. Sure, there was a couple of hit pieces made where people were saying I was lying to me audience to try turn me audience against me, to get me friends to turn against me, but I backfired on them because the difference is that the other side choose to watch whatever they want to watch of my content, whereas everybody that's in the chat now, right, or I see a few familiar names, have watched me from the very beginning and have watched every single stream that I've done, whether they've watched it live or watched it afterwards. So my audience know that I'm not lying to them. And I wouldn't, because there's no point. I'm not that type of character. You know, I don't do it for anything else but to let fandom know what was going on with the show. But everything that I talked about, or most things that we talked about on this channel, about Chris Chibnall and certain appearances and stuff like that, have happened. So Frank says, I always thought that Paul Kay would make a great doctor. And apparently Marty has some minor casting news. It's oh, there goes my camera. Yeah, but if it's on these sites, man, I'm not sure I believe them. No, I'm not sure I believe them. Sure, even the latest rumors that were supposed to reveal stuff, they got one or two things right, but they got most of it wrong. And I just think it was fan speculating because the Master had to come back. Like, the Master had to come back anyway. So I don't know why everybody, when the rumor came out about the Master returning, that everybody acted all surprised and shocked. It's not a rumor. Of course he was going to come back. Of course he was going to be there at the end of the Chris Chibnall era. It's his master. Of course he was going to be in the thing. It's not a rumor. Andrew Garfield as the Doctor, Lydia West as the companion plays. Exactly. That would be the dream team. That would be the dream team, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? But anyway, make the announcement because it will. Because even though Screenrant thinks it would be unfair, I think it's the thing that they need to do now. Because the British public, the general audience, and even Doctor Who fans now at this stage are getting very impatient indeed. And I don't give a crap whether you think it's Screen Rant, if you think it's unfair or not. At the end of the day, before the Doctor had a vagina, uh, any announcement that was made wasn't seen as being disrespectful to the incumbent or the person that was being succeeded. Okay, so all of a sudden it seems to be now because, as I said, the Doctor happens to be a woman now, which is an absolute joke, right? And anyway, just to let you know, life isn't fair, and you can't always get what you want. We learned the hard way for 5 years. Now you have to learn the hard way that you aren't going to get what you want. All right. At the end of the day, this announcement's happening this month, more than likely, and I cannot wait. Can't wait. I know. Because as I said, Marty, because it's a woman, right? Go and check out the articles in the link description. The journalist is talking out their backside. They're talking out their backside. And then they try to cover their bias by saying, well, it'll add more excitement. I don't think this journalist, and this is what the problem is, I don't think the journalist or the industry knows how bad it is with Doctor Who. And this is why I'm hoping RTD does know, because he has to realise where the fandom is right now and where the British public or the public in general are, right? Casting another woman would be a disaster. So I hope RTD is reading the room properly here, because if he doesn't and he miscalculates here, it could be the end. Now, listen, I have had some comments of people saying that they'll give RTD a go even if he does cast a woman, right? But then you're going to lose all of those people that actually don't believe that the Doctor is a woman, and you're not going to win back no public. The public have checked out, and it's been proven. 13 million our first episode, 2.2 million in overnights for her last. Someone's saying it's 3.3 now in the. Obviously, it's had a few more weeks, but it was 2.2 million in the overnights, or 2.3. That's what it was, right? So it's lost 10 million people, right? And that doesn't matter whether that's fans or not, right? That's your public as well gone. They've checked out. So I hope RTD is reading the situation and reading the room, because if he casts another woman, look, as I said, I'll give it a go myself, but I think it's over. I think it's over. I don't. It doesn't matter what he does, and we might enjoy it, and it might she might actually, whoever, if he does cast a woman, might end up being a great Doctor, but it'll be too late because you had Whittaker for 5 years. That's your problem you have right now. That's what I mean. He's on a high right now. What's never made sense is that does Sasha's master come after John Sims' incarnation of the master or after Missy's? I think it was confirmed. I think it was confirmed that he's after Missy. Wasn't it confirmed? I'm pretty sure it was confirmed. Hold on. I'm pretty sure there was an interview or something was said that indicated that Sasha's master was a direct of Missy. Um, Hold on. there you go. So according to this, although the master believed that the blast had disabled Missy's ability to regenerate, Missy managed to use an Elysian field, forbidden technology that could break a Time Lord's body down into atoms and molecules, then reform it anew to grant herself a new regeneration cycle and kick her next regeneration. So there you go. It's in black and white there. Look. Oh, you can't probably. What? Good. There. That camera is weird. Anyway, it's there. Black and white. So she did regenerate. She used forbidden technology. So, yeah. Sasha. And maybe that's why Sasha's master is so unhinged, by the way. So, there you go. It's in black and white there. Just Google, did Missy regenerate? Right? And that's the answer that you get. So I'll read it again, right? Just in case anybody didn't hear me the first time. Although the masters believed that the blast had disabled Missy's ability to regenerate, Missy managed to use an Elysian field, forbidden technology that could break a Time Lord's body down into atoms and molecules, then reform it anew to grant herself a new regeneration cycle and kickstart her next regeneration. And what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of that and I'll throw it up on Twitter for everybody to see as well. So yes, I think Sasha Dewan's master is a direct result of Missy regenerating. But of course, Shib's never explained that, so I don't know where this has come from. But I'm pretty sure I did hear something in an interview or something. So maybe that's why it's that way. But he hasn't done it in the show. I'm pretty sure after 5 years we would know if he mentioned Missy. Sasha's master was a direct regeneration incarnation. I don't know. So yeah, so that's yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird though, unless they did it in a. See, this is the thing that I don't like either. Big Finish is starting to bleed into the main show, as in Big Finish are now, whereas Big Finish used to be a couple of years behind now. Big Finish are literally doing stories that are kind of connecting with this current era of Doctor Who. Now, I know they eventually do that after a few years when this current Doctor goes, but they're actually doing it right now. So if that was probably done, I wouldn't be surprised, in a Big Finish audio, and that's why we've got this answer. So yeah, interesting. So there we go. We actually know now. But it'll be, maybe that's why Sasha's master. Maybe Sasha's master isn't evil like we all think. Maybe Sasha's master is actually trying to help the Doctor, because there always has been that kind of, like, even though we it seems like the other way, there's always been something about Sasha's master that hasn't set right with me. He had an opportunity to kill the Doctor too, and he never took it. And it makes me wonder why, you know. And in fairness, I know what happened a lot in the classic era as well. The master would have a chance to kill the Doctor, but wouldn't kill the Doctor. But there's something with this one, and that's why Sasha is returning. There's going to be some reveal made there or something, you know. It'd actually be nice to see. Well, no, actually, don't do that. But I'll just throw that out there. It would have been nice to see Michelle Gomez return. The master could do something really despicable and erase the last 5 years. Could, but they could be angry with themselves as well, because, you know, they shot themselves in the back. You know, so there's probably a bit of resentment there towards the doctor because the doctor tried to make him make Missy good and succeeded. So maybe the master now is a bit, because he's unhinged this time as Sasha's master, probably pissed at the doctor right now. There's a rumor we'll see him. No, it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. Right. Watch the trailer again. It's not a rumor, right? This is why I'm not listening to anybody on Gallifrey Base or any of these other fucking sites or YouTube channels. It's not a rumor. It's literally in the fucking trailer, right? You see him with a big beard, right? And then you see him without a beard, right? So what a person has done there, has seen that trailer, went on to Gallifrey Base or Reddit or whatever this rumor is, and made up a shitload of lies, right? It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. Seriously, man, I'm actually sick of that. People see something or someone's wrote something or they see an interview. Oh, it's a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's not actually a rumor. It was in the fucking trailer. Seriously, man. People need to stop this shit, man. It's not a rumor. Don't be giving these people credit for fucking making up shit because you see in the trailer or the teaser trailer and then, oh yeah, oh that looks like an Oliver. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go on to Gallifrey Base now and I'll make up a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's in the fucking trailer. You don't have to be Einstein. It's in the trailer. Anyway, he's ripping off Matt Smith with that fucking scene anyway. Right? Matt Smith had a beard when he was locked in the cube. Do you remember in Area 51? Yeah, it's just Chibi stealing shit again as usual. But it's not a rumor. Jesus Christ almighty, man. This fandom. Why? What? Why? Why? Hello? What do you want, James Corden? What are you crying for? Because the cat is out of the bag. What do you mean the cat is out of the bag? Oh, everybody knows you're the 14th Doctor. Yeah. But what are you crying for? You're crying because the British public don't like you anymore? Oh. Well, I could tell you why. But I have to be brutally honest, they're not going to like it. You want me to tell you? Alright, this is why they don't like it. They don't like a sellout. Yeah. And they don't want Doctor Who to be cancelled. Why would Doctor Who be cancelled? Well, they've seen how you murdered cats. Hello? James? Hello? James? What a pussy. Anyway. The master, yeah. Shelley says, what's going on? Oh, James Corden just gave me a ring there. You know, he's a bit upset. He's a bit upset. Yeah. God love him. God love him. Big soy boy. Yeah. I mean, he's a big pussy. You know? Anyway. That actually worked out well. I couldn't have planned that if I wanted to. Jesus. I actually wanted to do something similar to that when I was doing the video on James Corden, but because we'd kind of gone off topic, I just because I've been thinking about doing something like that, you know, something funny, you know, because you know the fact that fans actually think he's the fucking Doctor is unbelievable. Seriously, man, how did this fandom Is it because there's been an influx of these fans that are just not really intelligent? Let's be honest. I mean, they think that the last 5 years of Doctor Who has been the best 5 years of the show's history. But I don't know what's happened. Maybe because a lot of dumb people have infiltrated the fandom, that we just become dumb as a fandom. Because anybody that believes, even the media outlets reporting on this, right, when it originally came from someone that was basically speculating because they'd seen that he'd lost he was leaving the Late Show in 2023, and then someone then put out, oh, James Corden is leaving the Late Show in 2023. RTD returns in 2023. Oh my God, please no. And that was the rumor that started it all off. And then you got the Metro and all of these organizations that picked up on it and ran with it as a story because they'd nothing better to talk about, right? But the worst thing was, I actually thought Doctor Who fans were smart, right? I actually thought we were an intelligent bunch of fans, right? But to see the amount of people that were actually believing this, hook, line, and sinker, yeah, I was just baffled. And it's still now, even a few days later, I'm still kind of baffled by how people think he was going to be the 14th Doctor. I mean, you'd want to be on magic mushrooms or something to think that he is the 14th Doctor. It ain't happening. He's not Doctor Who material. Exactly. Do people really think Corden is leaving a $15 million a year show to come to Cardiff for $250K a year? Marty, I couldn't have put it better myself. I mean, even throwing that comment up there, no offense, right? I know what you're trying to do, but even reading that now, I could feel the brain cells dying, right? I could feel myself getting dumb, stupid by reading this, right? Because that's how stupid it sounds. But there's people out there that bought that. So I'm very worried about the fandom and the lack of intelligence with fans. And even some of those accounts that are supposed to be in the know reporting that he's the Doctor. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that that none of these people ever had sources, nothing will. Marty, just seeing that in writing, I could just feel the brain cells dying, begging me to take it off the screen. Okay, brain cells, hold on. There you go. If they announce Michael McIntyre as the Michael McIntyre, oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, please give me strength, God. Hello, give me strength, will you? Just actually, Doctor, if you're around, could you come and where's the TARDIS? Just take me away to a time where it was a lot simpler, could you? Where people were less stupid. Don't tell me that's Frank. Don't tell me that that's an actual rumor going around, is it? Oh my God. Oh my God. I just don't know what to say anymore, guys. I mean, how can anybody think, oh man, that'd be like saying, I'm Jesus Christ, I am. How are you? I've risen from the dead. How are you? I'm sorry, I know I was to reveal myself to the world years ago, but I'm here now. So, pray, because you're all fucked, because I've risen. And when I said I've risen, the world's going to come to an end. The 7 plagues are coming. All right? Here I am in the flesh. Watch the headline tomorrow by the J-Bots is, oh, Noel thinks he's Jesus Christ. Oh, I just made it up for a laugh. Oh, don't do that, Frank. Especially don't do that on Twitter, mate, because you'll have the Metro running with it, believing it's an actual true story. James Corden is going to Warner Brothers to do a revamped version of the Ellen Show. Oh, yeah, she's leaving as well. Here, we might as well roll pour in. James Corden is the 14th Doctor and Ellen DeGeneres is his fucking companion. For fuck's sake. This is why but this is what the other side wanted, by the way. This is why they decided to start making up rumors and stuff like this. The problem is that the media is reporting on them, and sources out there, unfortunately, now are losing. Nobody is believing anybody now because of stuff like this being reported on, and that's what they wanted. They didn't want the credible sources that were actually putting out credible information to be listened to, because that goes against their precious Jodie Whittaker or says anything bad. That was it. They wanted to discredit people like me, and they tried, but it was great because I remember the Reddit rumors when they were throwing all these different rumors out every day, and I even said it from day one that all of this was bullshit and that people are deliberately making up stuff to try and discredit people like me and others out there that do Doctor Who rumors and stuff and have been legitimately getting information. That has been their goal all along. Now they've turned it into a big joke, right? So even the Metro is reporting. Do you know what pisses me off though? Why didn't the Metro report on all the shit that I actually got right over the last 5 years? I would have made that newspaper. Yeah, I don't want another episode, another series of Gavin and Stacey. Fair play to him if he's coming home to spend time with his family, but I don't think the British public actually want to see him on TV anymore. I think he kind of has sold out and ruined his reputation as a little side boy, And I mean, he played a big pussy, so I mean, that's all you need to know about him. And Ian says, "Hello, Jesus." That's blasphemy. I bless you, me son. So yeah, we just look. The 14th, the 4th is now officially now. So may the 4th be with you all. If the announcement's going to happen, like everybody's predicting now, 10 days time. 10 days time, folks. That's not long. That's not long. So we'll see. If nothing happens on the 14th, then as I said, I also predicted, the snooker final's gone now, so that's out of the way. The FA Cup is the next big one, right? So if they don't do it at the FA Cup, well then, as I said, I think the next date will be the Eurovision. Because that's millions tune in to watch the Eurovision. So if it's not going to be the FA Cup final, it's probably going to be the Eurovision. I'm pretty sure Dr. 14 has been cast. Dr. 14's been well cast. Dr. 14, I'd even. Dr. 14 has been cast. I know Christmas, he said he was still in the audition stage. Do you remember? Because he came out and said that. And he said they were actually actively auditioning. He has his 14 Doctor now. I'd be actually pretty amazed, Marty, if he still hasn't made up his mind. And listen, again, I'm going to say this. I wouldn't rule out Hugh Grant either, even though he's come out and said himself that he's not the 14 Doctor. But that's more credible. Sorry, just not to knock the camera for a second, because I as you know, some of you might know, I have an owl smoking habit. So I'm going to smoke because I'm fucking streaming an hour and 50 minutes without one, and I need one. Because all of this nonsense is actually fucking stressing me out. But yeah, Eurovision is the 14th as well, yeah, but it's not the 14th of May, is it? Is it? Is the Eurovision the 14th of May? Well, if they don't do the FA Cup final, right, which is also the 14th, and if they don't do it a Eurovision, then I'm kind of trying to think of when they could, because they're two big major TV events that are going to be shown on BBC, and the only other one that I can think of is Wimbledon. Now, if you remember, they did reveal Jodie Whittaker's doctor during Wimbledon, the men's final. They gave us that pathetic reveal video. And I knew straight away, I knew the night before, by the way, that Jodie Whittaker, that's why I decided to actually come on to YouTube. I had known the day before. I wish I could find a Facebook post that I actually threw up at the time. And I was actually banned from a couple of Facebook groups as well. But I actually put up the night before that Jodie Whittaker was going to be cast as the first female doctor. And I remember I got kicked out of a few Facebook groups because these people thought I was fangirling for Whittaker. Of course, you all know that isn't true. But I did. I told everybody the night before Whittaker was actually cast and that was actually revealed in that reveal video that Jodie Whittaker was the next doctor. So I wonder if I could still find that post. I wonder how I'd go about finding that post and throwing that up just to show you. But I did say it. And that's why I decided to come on YouTube then and start talking about the Whittaker era, because I saw the interviews and I saw the way you guys were all being treated. And I was getting the same treatment as well. How dare you hate a female doctor, you sexist pig. Well, we're sitting here pretty now, laughing our heads off, because everything that we said, everybody in the chat as well was saying the same things when she was cast. Yous all called us every name under the sun. Yous didn't want to believe us. And it turned out we were right. 5 years later, we're sitting here with the lowest rated special of all time. And this era probably being the most divisive, destroy the fandom, destroy the show's history. I mean, we told you all. Eurovision 2023 will be held in Russia. It won't be held in Russia. Nothing's happening in Russia. I know you're joking, but leave Russia out of it. So it is, final is the 14th of May. Well, then I'll have to check it out. The best thing for Doctor Who is if Jodie Whittaker fails to regenerate and Capaldi wakes up from a bad dream. Duras, I'm not going to argue with you tonight, right? But I will say, I do agree with you on that one. That would be the ideal situation. But let's be honest, it's not going to happen, mate. But that would be my ideal scenario. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Look, like Marty, there has been a few names that have been given, right? And I've said it and I've made it clear on this channel. All the names that I'm hearing are male names. There's no woman being connected to this actual role, right? Any woman that has been mentioned from the other side are more than likely probably up for companion role, or may have been interviewed for companion role. But what I'm hearing, and others are hearing out there, it's definitely a bloke doctor. Of course, you know, we will have to wait and see. Well, in fairness, Ukraine do normally well in the Eurovision, but I reckon because of this shit that's going on, they probably will win it, even though their song is crap. It's like what happened to us. We had a song called "We Were the Rock and Roll Kids," right? But that was that song that we sang was a decent song, but was it a Eurovision winning song? It wasn't. There were better songs that night, but that was the night of Riverdance. That was the night that we saw Riverdance for the very first time, right? And I've always said it. I will not shy away from it. The only reason why Ireland won the Eurovision that year was because of Riverdance. It wasn't because of the song itself, even though the song was great. I'm not being disrespectful to the people that sang the song because it was a beautiful song, but it wasn't the best song that night. But it was because of Riverdance. Nobody had seen anything like Riverdance before. Even as Irish people, to see Irish dancing done that way had never been seen before. The moves were completely different. This was something unique. And that's why we won the Eurovision that year. We won it because of Riverdance. We didn't win it because of the bleeding song. I haven't heard Ireland's song yet. Marty, what I normally do is, it's May now. So what I normally do is I know that the Eurovision channel on YouTube throws up all the songs. So I'm going to check out the Irish song. But for me, Ireland has to, look, we stopped taking it seriously because we kept winning it. And it drained our money, right? But we've become a joke over the last few years, we have. We even sent the puppet over in a fucking shopping trolley in Dustin. Now, Dustin, we love Dustin over here, but you don't send them to the fucking Eurovision, right? That's how bad it was. And you know, I have to admit, I thought Jedward's song, Lipstick, that was the one that he sang the Euro. I actually thought that was a good entry, but it was Jedward. They were never going to win, but that was a good song, and I'm not going to look. Can't stand them two lads. But that was a good entry. It was just, Ireland never got anywhere in the Eurovision now. Yeah, we always win. We always used to win. We've got the record. Nobody's beaten Ireland at the Eurovision yet, even though we still haven't won it in years. We still have the record. We're the ones to beat. We're the ones to beat in Eurovision, right? Ireland rocked the Eurovision. Eurovision and Ireland, it was Ireland's competition, right? Every year, when we kept winning it, every year it was just, can we beat the Irish, basically. It was our competition, and it still is. Still is. Even when Niamh Kavanagh came back, right, to sing, they brought her back to try win it back. She was treated like royalty when she was over there, right? The Irish performers are treated like royalty, Johnny Logan, Niamh Kavanagh, feckin' what's her face, that won that year with I Am the Voice. I forget her name, but great song. Listen, we ruled Eurovision, where everybody won't vote for us now. They fucking hate us. And they vote for each other now. It's called That's Rich by Brooke Scullin. I'll check it out. I don't know. See, I've stopped watching the Eurovision because it's a farce now. Because we don't get anywhere, and neither does the poor UK. It's either us or the UK that finishes last now. They seem to hate both countries. They all vote for each other. But even the Brits won't give us... we'll give the Brits a high score. We always do, believe it or not. We always have in the Eurovision, right? But we never get a decent score off you. And never get a decent score off the UK. So I'll give it a go. You're not even got into the final for the last decade. Oh no, we keep getting fucking knocked out of the semi-final fucking stage. It's a joke. It's a joke. And here's the thing. I think that semi-final thing needs to be scrapped. They've done it that way to have less countries in the final. Because if you remember Eurovision back in the old days, it'd literally be on for 4 or 5 fucking hours. but they don't want to have it on for 4 or 5 fucking hours now. And I think it's a joke. I think it's a joke. I don't think there should be qualifying rounds. You know, you put an entry in, that's your song to enter the competition. You shouldn't have to qualify. You know, it's ridiculous. British singers shouldn't have to qualify either. Our British singers in Eurovision have been terrible for a long time. I disagree. I think there's been a few years where you have been very unlucky. You have had a decent enough song. It's just nobody votes for you. It's like they don't vote for us anymore. Like the way it normally goes, I don't know if it'll go like this year. But the way it normally goes is Russia normally give Ukraine high points, and Ukraine will normally give Russia high points. And then you'll have all the countries that are beside each other, and they'll be giving each other the high points. It's not even done fair anymore. You know, it's not even done fair anymore. They should scrap all of that shit, and they should just have like they do with maybe with these talent shows, and just have a universal number that everybody can ring in and pick their own song. Except you can't vote for your own country, because that would be absolutely ridiculous. You keep that in place, but you can vote for any other country out there, instead of having a panel and then half of the audience score, you know, make the decisions. Just scrap the panels and just have it that the audience out there in Europe is listening and they get the vote. It's not done that way anymore. Russia's being kicked out this year. All these Eastern countries vote for their neighbouring countries. Exactly. That's the way it's become now. So I think it is a little bit unfair. You know, I mean, the year that Gina G brought out, ooh, just a little bit, ooh, a little bit more. That was one of the best songs in the Eurovision. That was one of the best songs that he had that year. But it got nowhere. Got nowhere. So I mean, look, what can you do? What can you do? That's why I stopped watching Eurovision. Listen, Eurovision used to be a staple in my man Dad's house. Every year it was on. We sat down around the telly as kids and we watched that. And it was great. The voting and all, it used to be great, really exciting. Seeing Ireland getting 12 points all the time. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Proud of our country. Even though it was a singing competition, proud of our country. But it's not like that anymore. It's gone. They've killed it now. And now they've got Australia in it. So how is it Eurovision now? And then the Americans wanted to join in. So they come up with their own singing competition. But the Americans wanted to join in then. You can't call it Eurovision anymore. If you're going to let all these countries in, well then it's World Vision. The World Vision Song Contest or something. Or change the fucking name completely and let all the countries in if you want it. But then we'd be here all fucking year, wouldn't we? But how did we get onto Eurovision? I forget. But anyway. There you go. I might check it out this year. I'll say if Ireland's song's good, I'll check out the other songs as well. Because I will say, there's been a couple of songs over the years, even though I haven't watched it, I've heard after the competition has ended. And some of the quality of the songs actually are getting better now. So yeah, I might give it a go. Might give it a go. You never know. Well, if there's a Doctor Who announcement, I won't be giving it a go because we'll be on here talking about who the new Doctor is, obviously. Well, yeah. So the UK are in fourth place with the bookies. So who's favourite to win this year besides the Ukraine? Who else is favourites to win this year's Eurovision? Let me know. Just announce all the votes at once and then you can have the 40. Exactly. Italy are second favourites. Horrid song. So, okay. Yeah, no, have to say, I'm never really a fan of the Italian songs. to be quite honest with you. Well, yeah, I'll check it out. But Sweden is third. Right, right. And Spain is fifth. So where are we? Are we even anywhere near? Anybody mentioning Ireland at all in the equation? Or is it going to be another thing where Ireland doesn't exist anymore in the Eurovision? It's like all these. It's like all these countries want to make sure that Ireland don't keep the record. It's bad. Anyway, before we do head off tonight, I'm just going to check real quickly because normally we get an article or two that might actually drop. So let's see if there's anything worth just having a look at before we go. Oh, they're still talking about that redacted. And Jodie Whittaker saying that she thinks Lydia West would actually smash it as the Doctor. Oh, but the Daily Express has done one on this stupid interview of Mandip Gill. Never forever. Mandip Gill teases Yaz return after confirming final Doctor Who appearance. Yaz is not coming back to Doctor Who, right? I don't even know why she's even trying to tease an audience. She's not coming back. She's not coming back. I mean, it's an absolute joke. This is what I mean. The newspapers have nothing better to write about. She does an interview and she doesn't answer the question directly, right? And then it's like, oh, she could be returning. Ireland are 32 out of 40 last look. Holy shit. Ireland has a good song, but its choreography and staging needs improvement if it's a standard chance. Well, we have kind of fucked up on choreography over the years, I have to be honest. For me, I think Ireland should do an Irish traditional song. That's what makes Eurovision unique. Show off your country's culture. You know, I think we've kind of in Ireland we've kind of forgotten that. And remember, you just need a song with a certain amount of lyrics. You could do a whole thing where you have a singer singing and then have a load of Irish dancers dancing behind them or something. You know, it doesn't have it's weird. There's certain rules for Eurovision. Your song has to have a certain amount of lyrics in it, but then the rest, then you can basically, we could do a traditional Irish song, right, and then have Irish dancers in the background or something spectacular like River Dance, and I think we'd win. I think Ireland need to, for Ireland to be successful in the Eurovision now, I think we need to showcase their culture. Because River Dance blew everybody away. So if you had a song, a traditional Irish song, or a new song, traditional Irish song, I should say, and you have a load of Irish dancers in the background dancing and you got the drums going and all of that, I think we'd have a better chance of winning. You lost all respect. Listen, we sent Dustin over because we didn't want to win it. That's the thing. RTE has deliberately sent over duds, right? The audience, the people of Ireland used to vote on who they send over, right? It doesn't happen like that. There's a panel now. What they do is then they let the Irish public, there's 5 songs or something that the panel might pick, but it's 5 songs that they're choosing, right? So it's the 5 songs that they think are the best 5 songs that should be put forward. And then the Irish public then vote on those 5 songs, and whatever song comes out on top is the song that represents the country, which is wrong. Whatever person has put an entry in, we should be able to hear them all and make up our own minds on who we want to send over, not what the panel chooses that the Irish public might think they want. And that's another problem that we have here. We're not in control of the decisions or who we want to represent their country. But yeah, sending over Dustin was the worst mistake we made, because we did lose credibility there. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, just put in Dustin the Turkey Eurovision, and he's in a fucking shopping trolley. A fucking shopping trolley. Absolutely disgraceful. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there unless anybody has any questions to ask me before I leave. So if anybody has any questions they want to ask me, please shoot away. I'm leaving in about 5 minutes. So if about 8 minutes, we'll go to 2:20. 2:20, 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes. So if you have any questions you want to shoot my way, go for it before we head off. But look, as I said, about this Jodie Whittaker thing being disrespectful, it's not. It's an announcement has always happened, and you crybabies at Screenrant and all you other media out there, and I guarantee it, because of this Screenrant article, there's a lot of JJ bots and Tasman stands that actually agree with Screenrant. These are wrong. We're not going to change things just because the doctor happened to be a woman this time around. We don't care if it's disrespectful. Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall disrespected this fandom for 5 years for telling us that what they gave us was Doctor Who. It was Doctor Who in name only. Right, so don't talk about disrespect. Right, Jodie and Chris Chibnall disrespected the fandom for 5 years. Right, so get with the program. It's going to happen whether you like it or not, and you can cry all you want. The new Doctor is going to be announced soon, and it can't come quick enough as far as I'm concerned. We need to put this era behind us, and fans need hope for the future. So the sooner it's announced, the better, in my opinion. It should have been done ages ago. And you know what? This journalist as well hasn't mentioned it in the article, but this journalist is afraid, basically, because she's not that popular, right? And, and I know this is what's going to happen, by the way. I predict a lot of things here. So this is what will happen. When the announcement is made, and when the centenary actually falls flat on its back, it'll be blamed on the fact that they announced the new Doctor before Jodie had a chance to finish. And that's the narrative that this journalist is trying to set up in reality, right? Because you could see she has a bias. She basically, because it's a woman, things should be different. So that's where it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I do like that comment, but there you go. Right, I don't see any questions, so I will leave it there then. Because I don't think anybody wants to ask me any questions, so that's fine. Fair enough. I just want to thank the guys that threw in a super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Everybody that's commented as well in the chat, I really appreciate the support, and thank you for watching the videos and the live streams that I throw up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, folks. And of course, if there's anything else that pops up, of course, I will be around to report on it. But for now, I'm going to say good night. have a good one. And I will talk to you very, very soon. I'm going to go off now and watch something. Or maybe go to bed. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have stuff to do before I do all of that anyway. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon. So listen, have a good one. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Right, hold on. I have to check my DMs before I go. So, what's going on here? Let me see. Right, what am I looking at here? Bad Wolf. Oh. 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 Okay. Do you want me to read this out, or did you just want to show me? Because I mean, I could have ended the stream because now people are gonna want to know what's going on. So I'll wait for Marty to get back to me there for a second. Right, just waiting for Marty to get back to me there. Or maybe we could do a separate stream on it and bring Marty on. Are you staying up, Marty? If you're staying up for a couple of more minutes, we could do another quick stream before I finish off tonight. Let me know, will you? Because I'm hanging around waiting on you to get back to me. So let me know, and then we'll do that stream straight away. So I might be back, folks. Just wait. I'm just waiting on Marty to get back in contact with me there, because that's very interesting. Where's Marty? Marty, are you still around? I don't see Marty in the chat now. Right, Marty, if you're listening, I'm sending you a message on Messenger. I mean, I can't really leave people hanging like this, so let me know if you want to do a quick stream. If not, I'm going to have to leave you hanging, guys, because I can't say anything unless I get permission off Marty, or unless he wants to come on and talk about it. But there might be actually some news Right, so he's actually heading to bed now, so I'll have to leave you on a cliffhanger. You will have to tune in tomorrow. We've got some news regarding something. So I'll let Marty come on and explain tomorrow. So I'll just say yes. So hold on. Right, I'm gonna have to leave you on a cliffhanger. I'm sorry, folks. But yeah, we might have. Well, we do have something for you. So come and tune in tomorrow, and you will see what we're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, we will see us tomorrow. So I'll play the trailer. Sorry, folks. Sorry, I have to leave you on a cliffhanger. But there you go. You know, it's probably a better cliffhanger than Chris Chibnall has ever produced. Anyway, so there you go. Anyway, talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.